Yeah. What up, G?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, man? Good, good, good. Yeah, Instagram, I don't know what the heck is up with Instagram, man. It's like I've gone through this like too many times. So sorry on behalf of Instagram, even though I don't work for these chats. But man, thanks for coming through. Really appreciate it. Mind if I give you a little introduction?
Yeah, go right ahead, man.
We got this brother right here. The first time I saw him was with a band called Hong Kong FU, and you guys can figure out what the FU stand for. Opening for my friends in Siege. They got down 3 bass players, or was it? It was, dude. It was a gang of bass, and I was just man, I was hype. And this brother was playing this thing like a warrior, man, and it was just so really just mad, like chaotic, and really just orchestrated together. Then I'm finding out that he's been in other bands, like, his band Basuko, which is straight up old school hardcore punk. Penalty Kills, like a D-beat band. I still haven't heard La Matical, but man, we're gonna talk about all that. So this is Leo Agira, man, from man. I hope that was a cool intro. If not, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's okay, man. I appreciate it. I'm just kind of awkward. But yeah, I'm Leo. That's me.
Man, one of the questions that I have to ask, I know some of the things I know, you're Colombian, but when I think you said that you were based in Mexico. With the band Hong Kong FU is like from Mexico, yeah? Or San Diego?
Well, it's HKFY. It's based in Tijuana, Mexico.
Wow, that's cool. And was that like, how did that come together? And it's also, shoot, was that like the first band that, I mean, I'm sure you've had other bands that you were in. Basically, actually, before we ask that, like, give me your background, man. Like, seriously, like, what first of all, give us a little history on yourself. I know that you have some Colombian roots, but you also lived in Mexico as well.
Oh,
and you
in Mexico?
No, my bad. I thought like when you told me that because they're based in Mexico that you lived out there, but I'm wrong. Sorry.
No, so the thing about Tijuana is, like, it's a border city. San Diego's right outside. So yeah, at the time when I joined HKFY, a lot of the members were actually living in San Diego. At the time that I joined, one of the members was actually based in Sacramento, but Christian Hell, he was living in TJ, and the band was, it originally was an all TJ lineup, and shit, I don't even know what to say. Originally all TJ lined up. After a while, a few guys like me and a few dudes in San Diego joined. And I joined Hong Kong in like 2021. Yeah, it was only 2021. So the band's actually been around longer than me.
Wow. Yes, San Diego has always had an interesting scene. I had some friends. One of my great friends, Glenn Galaxy, who was in the band Truman's Water and Soul Junk. He was kind of a part of like that weird sort of underground avant-garde like scene, and I think he runs some place called the Singing Serpent, and they do like stuff for commercials and all that. And I know the Che Cafe and a lot of those guys from like the Locust and stuff. Shouts to Joey Karam and Dave, man, and JP. I know a few of those guys. So San Diego, you guys, I mean, like, I know they've had a scene on their own, but would you say the Tijuana and San Diego scene are one and the same, or they're kind of different?
I mean, I kind of get the similar vibes from the music that comes out of both scenes, but truth be told, I'm not even from the West Coast, so most of that stuff I never really got into. Like,
wow.
I'm not actually into power violence or grindcore, dog.
Oh, wow, man, but you play it so well. I mean, for me, I'm like been in the punk rock since the late '80s, so all that stuff is all hardcore to me. Like, and just it's a trip just seeing like a lot of the newer generation playing this really angsty filled music that was a part of my life and still a part of my life, even as old as I am, still in the pit, going to shows and watching bands like yourself, and even playing the same kind of stuff. Well, tell us like your background, if you don't mind, man.
Well, I'm a veteran. I served 5 years in the United States Marine Corps. Um,
Mm.
actually got out recently, and funny thing, the entire time that I've been in bands in California, I was active duty the whole time.
Wow, that's a trip, man. Well, how did you like start playing? I mean, like, what was your earliest like how did you get into music, and then how did you get into punk rock, like just in general?
Um, I guess I don't know. It kind of just happened, you know. Like you just go to a record store, you kind of just get bored, see what's going on, and I'm like very visual, and like I really like the way album covers looked, and I don't know, I just got into like suicidal tendencies, Ramones, just starter beginner shit, and after a while, like I first started getting into hardcore. I want to say I was 18, straight out of high school, and my first show, I actually lived in DC at the time.
Oh wow.
It was yeah, yeah. My first show was when I was living in DC at the time. It was History Repeated with the late John Stabb from Government Warning, rest in peace.
Mm.
It was the Weirdos in Adolescence, and it was all right. But there's this guy. His name was Dennis, and he was like this Indian dude. Because like I went there, and it was very obvious that there was not a lot of people that looked like me at the show. So you see this guy that I was awkward. I was 18, so I was like, hey, I don't know anybody. So, hey, man, can you make this less awkward and talk to me? And he gave me a flyer for a show at this other spot in DC. That was my second show. Trying to figure out what it was. I think this is a band called Sem Hastro that was from DC. They're not around anymore, but they're really sick. And I just started going to more and more shows. Just picked up whatever flyer and tried my best to go to any show I could.
Man, was the first band that you were in, was that in DC or out here on the West Coast?
My first band was actually in DC, but that band didn't really do that much, to be honest.
Man, who like, as far as instruments, like what was the first instrument? Because I know you do vocals and you play guitar, and like, are there any other instruments? And also, what got you to pick up an instrument in general?
My first instrument was actually the violin.
Awesome.
Yeah, my first instrument was actually the violin, but I got kind of bored of it, so I picked up an electric bass for my birthday. My dad gave me Christmas one time, and yeah, after that, I just started going crazy on bass. I loved the way it sounded. I loved like how rumbly and loud and just confrontational it sounded, which is like completely opposite to violin, So I made bass my whole thing. Never tried to I tried to learn how to play guitar, but I just can't do chords and I can't like strum. So
Man, I hear you. I'm mostly a bass player. I play other instruments, but that's like my main. I've been playing since '88, and man, the thing is, bass is a trip because it's like this mediator between all the instruments, and it's just like it's almost like you kind of command the floor with that thing. Like, man, are there any favorite bass players that you dig, or like,
I mean, I listen to a lot of stuff, but sometimes I kind of don't focus on the names too much. Like,
That's cool.
I don't know. I got a little bit of a one-track mind. Like, I can think of like 10,000 bands and 10,000 artists, but when it comes to like putting them in a list, I'm like, shit, what the fuck do I do?
Man, nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, what kind of music, like, because I mean, even like the bands that you're in that I've heard, those are two different styles of punk rock, and it's just the fact that like, and the way that they execute that style. I love a lot of that classic like hardcore stuff. Like I was listening to Penalty Kill, and I'm like, man, it reminds me of early Discharge, you know, and you know, like Basuko has like this sort of like definitely early 80s hardcore feel. And I'm sure like just even looking at your page, some of the things that you were playing, you don't just listen to punk, you know, like listening to certain 70s bands and stuff. And I'm just curious, like even band wise, like what kind of like encouraged you even more, you know, like music wise, whether punk or not, you know, like
I guess my biggest push, well, my biggest encouragement to fucking pursue music would have to be Rob Watson, the lead singer of what's it called, Pure Disgust, because that was like the first band that I got into when I was first going to shows in DC, and like the way that he did it was just so like in your face about it, and I was like, you know, he looks like me. I can do that too. So I figured,
that's
fuck it,
awesome.
why not? I would do it too.
Heck yeah. It's amazing, especially mentioning like being into this style of music and noticing people that look like yourself. Because a lot of people would probably say not that we could give a care, otherwise we wouldn't be into it if we did care. You know, how punk and a lot of these extreme genres are more, you know, that's more white folks music or whatever. But it's amazing, like, especially you being from DC, you know, bands like the Bad Brains, people like Skeeter Thompson from the Scream, and like there's a bunch of really cool cats, you know, like that. I mean, dude, for me, DC, especially in East Coast, shouts to all my East Coast homies out there. Um, it's like I could see a lot of, you know, a lot of people from that scene that were like us in a sense. And but it's funny. It's like it doesn't surprise me that we're kind of saying the same thing even on both coasts, because it almost seems like we're an anomaly still, you know, and to certain degree. I mean, like, what do you think as far as like were those bands of any encouragement or just, you know? Sorry, it's kind of a weird question, but
I think I can understand what you're trying to ask. So like, I did feel motivated to pursue, you know, doing hardcore punk the more I saw other black people in music, you know, the more I saw other black people in bands, especially the more I saw other black people singing, you know, because like it's very seldom that we're given a chance to actually like be the center of attention, you know. It's like it sometimes felt like people don't want to give us attention, you know. You ever felt that way?
yeah, it's a trip. Like, it's one of the reasons that I do this page, because I feel, and I've used this term before, we're either Jim Crowed out of it, or it's almost like, you know, like with Nicky Buzz, shouts to that brother, you know, certain cats have an image of what a so-called rocker is, you know, or people into rock. And they either have used it market-wise or just even subculture-wise. And so it's almost like bands like the Bad Brains, of course, you could never not notice them because they just brought something different to the game and stuff. And they could give a care less about what was going on in the mainstream. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of times, a lot of our artists have gone unsung. It's why I do this page, and even talking about like innovations within this music. So with people like you and me that are continuing this stuff, we're looked at as almost alien to it. But at the same time, we're just continuing something that our own people have done since the beginning. You see what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying though, but yeah, I feel like a lot of times we are ignored, you know?
Yeah, it's alienation is a feeling that I feel very strongly throughout a lot of the music I write, because Basuko is my main project. That's the project that I write all the music and write all the lyrics for. Penalty Kill, I don't really write lyrics for Penalty Kill that much. I joined that band too. Lamictal, I just play bass, but Basuko is like the project that I put most of my time and energy into as far as writing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
when it comes to that project, I try really hard to not be too on the nose with the fact that the narrative is coming from a black person. You know, I try to make the lyrics what's it called I try to make it easy to understand for anybody, so that anybody else could also understand these feelings that I'm trying to convey. You know?
More relatable. I understand that.
Yeah.
And I was reading the lyrics to Bad Etiquette, and it's almost that song comes up, and it's amazing because it's almost like somebody's judging you by the way that you look and thinking that you're like that, regardless of what you do and regardless of what you try to do. And, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Very interesting lyrics, the way that it kind of turns around like that.
Oh, that song is literally just about being a little shit.
Man.
Yeah, that song is
Yeah.
literally just about being a little shithead when I was a kid, and just being a menace and being so unapologetic about it, you know, because the lyrics, you know, don't you say I'm wrong, I know that fact myself, I'm wrong, you know, and it didn't make a difference if people know that I was on spectrum, because I have autism, I have what's it called, Asperger's syndrome, so I was on the spectrum. So a lot of the things I did as a kid, I just didn't process and never cared.
Wow. Interesting. Do you feel like music kind of helped you, like in just not just expressing that, but kind of helped you like even more? What's that word? Kind of help you come to not just grips, but like almost kind of like a therapy. Music has been a therapy for myself. So like, I mean, would you feel like it kind of helps in that regard?
I mean, honestly, if music cured all my problems and music was therapeutic, then I wouldn't have the need to go to therapy still.
Yeah,
So unfortunately, not really. But it really depends on the reasons why you do music, you know? Like I always say that there's 3 reasons why somebody does music. Either they're trying to inform you, they're trying to persuade you, or they're trying to entertain you. So, and for me, it's more just so to do a little bit of all 3, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit of all 3.
That's awesome.
I never
I
try
mean,
to,
man.
yeah, I don't like writing about the same shit, otherwise I get bored. And I stop liking doing it.
Yeah, dude. Well, man, I'm sure a lot of cats relate, and it's just really cool, like the stuff that, like, I'll be honest, bro, like I have to hear about like new bands from either other cats that I know or just, like just stumble onto it. But like hearing the bands that you're in, I was like, wow, somebody's actually playing some really cool stuff, and just like it just ignites that same energy that I had when I was a little punk rock kid back in the late 80s and early 90s, like in the fact that, I am going to say it's definitely an encouragement to see someone like myself, doing this stuff still, like, and just, expressing themselves, and like, I really appreciate your work, man. Even when I saw you that night, I'm like, this guy is just handling that, man. And like, that was a really cool show. Like that was like, I don't go to shows as much. So when I went to see Siege, I not only found out about one of my I'm a part of a collective called Sound Army. One of my sounds was in one of the other bands, New God, shouts to Brain and all those cats. And I saw you guys and I'm like, well, who's this band? And man, I was blown away, dude. That's when I saw you that night too. And just I wanted to just find out more about like you as an artist. And so I just kind of sought out the stuff that you were doing, and I'm like, dude, this guy is like, this is some really good music, man. And that's why I was like, man, let me see if he would be down to like do an interview, What are you working on these days, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, Basuko, I'm working on a 3-song flexi that I'm trying to release under the gun. Yeah, I don't know if people really fuck with flexis that much, but I don't know. I just wanted to do one.
What is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, flexi. It's just a record format that's kind of weird. It's not really like vinyl. It's like flat.
Huh. That's a trip, man. And what are you on your own label or like on another indie?
No, Basuko's not on any label. like we're not officially on the label. We just release stuff through Under the Gun. Our last release was a split through 1753 with SOH though.
Mm, man, any shows coming up or anything, or bands like that you like to tour with, or?
Uh, well, our last show for the rest of the year is gonna be. Actually, no, I'm wrong. Our We got two more shows coming up. We got one this Friday with Dos Ghosts for the record release in Santa Ana.
Mm.
And who else? December 21st. I'm not really shit. I can't remember the artist, but I'll just have to look back. I'm really bad at planning. Sorry.
Nah,
Like
that's
I
all
almost
cool.
forgot I almost forgot about this interview. Not gonna lie, man. I'm so sorry.
Now you probably got a lot going on. That's why I always hit up cats before. I'm like, yo, and I mean, by the way, salute as far as like, your whole service and stuff to the army and all that, man. And I know I have family that were in the military too. So,
I mean, man, I feel like the military kind of helped me out in a way, like in terms of the way I act and the way I try to stay out of trouble and the way I conduct myself and how I try to, manage my music and manage my life. Like it really brought a lot of structure and just understanding things have consequences, so you have to think accordingly, you have to plan ahead. And when I got out, I was kind of, I don't know, I realized not a lot of people had that kind of way of thinking. So, and being in the military, I had to deal with a lot of people I didn't like, but I also met a lot of people I did like, So not everybody in the military is a freaking dickhead. Not everybody in the military is like, a cop or something, because trust me, we got cops of our own. We hate them. We hate the
wow.
but yeah, and that happened during a time when like I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was very confused, as a lot of us are, which is kind of why we even do this shit. We're kind of angry and confused.
Mm, man.
And
Well,
trying to figure out how to make our fucking lives easier.
wow. Yeah, that's a heavy thing, man. I've had friends too that say the same thing. One of my really good friends, he was in the military for probably about like 20 years, and he retired a few years ago, and he said it actually helped him and gave him structure as well. So I mean, man, shouts and respect, man. I totally understand, Um, you have some Colombian roots. Were you born there, or have you ever been there? Or?
I was born there. I was born in Colombia in 1997, and what was it? The first 18 months I had to stay there because my parents were working on citizenship for my dad. And then when my dad finally got citizenship, they sent me back. Well, not back. They sent me to my parents to live in the U.S. But my
Wow.
mom was already a citizen. So when I was born, I had dual citizenship, Colombian and U.S. So it
Man,
was pretty easy to just go back and forth in Colombia and see family.
is there any like punk rock bands from there, or is there like a scene? I know about Brazil. I mean, I'm sure that's different. I mean, that's like a whole different place. But like, as far as Colombia, I'm just curious. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
is there like any?
Yeah, there's definitely a scene in Colombia, especially in Bogota. You got bands like Muro, you got bands like Alumbrada. In fact, whatchamacallit, one of the members, they actually did artwork for Basuko. One of our
Mm,
t-shirt designs was actually designed by, what's his name? His name's Wilson J. Mello from Alumbrada. But yeah, he did that design.
wow, that's dope. Yeah, I always wonder how like other cats, rock, where they are as far as like other scenes and stuff. And I hear about like, Brazil, some, like like in Mexico occasionally I'll hear bands and stuff, but I didn't know much about Colombia, and there's other groups like and places like Bolivia and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Latin America, they got a lot of fucking good bands, but most of the bands I listen to are like from the 80s and shit. So they're not around anymore.
Man. Yeah, there. I remember the first time I heard some of the more international bands like that was Martin Soragunde from Los Crudos. Like his movie Behind the Screams, he kind of like touched on like some of those bands that are from over there and stuff, you know, and just it was interesting, man. You know. Excuse me one second. But yeah, that's really cool, man. Do you ever keep in like have you played any shows over there ever?
In Colombia, no. In fact, I've never been to a show in Colombia. The only international shows I've been to was when I was stationed in Japan.
Oh wow. Oh, how was that? I like a lot of Japanese bands.
I mean, it was nice except for the fact that I was living in Japan on a foreign military base in the middle of a freaking pandemic.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, this shit was not fun, dog. Like,
no.
I was literally like on lockdown for half the whole whole year on base. And like, what sucks is the day coronavirus, like, I think it was like March or something, like, the day it became like official or some shit. Like,
wow.
We just came back from Guam. And Guam became red zone at that time. So the moment we got on the plane, some fucking asshole commander, or actually no, it wasn't a commander, it was, shit, the thing was the fucking general, yeah. But the general, he fucking literally addressed all of us, told us to go to our barracks rooms, and we were there for 14 days.
No fun. No fun.
And it's not even like, not even like you understand what the fuck is going on, because like, we had no idea what the fuck coronavirus was. And if we did, we didn't think it was that bad. So the moment we got back from Guam, it was like, we're being trapped here for 14 days. What the fuck, you know? And nobody got sick.
Damn. That's crazy.
But yeah, Japan was nice, you know. I do miss Japan a lot.
Man. Watashi no Nihongo no Watashi no Nihongo o skoshi desu.
Man, I'm gonna be real with you. I fucking forgot that shit. It's been 2 years.
I speak a little bit. Yeah, I've always wanted to have friends over there, but I've never been. You know, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun to visit. A lot of cool shit, a lot of good food, good shows.
Wow. Yeah, I had a chance to play. Well, once played with one of my favorite musicians from there on stage, and also I played with a band. I opened for the band Melt Banana with another band that I was in a few times. I like a lot of the freaking bands from over. Of course, Gaz, you know, like in bands like SS and like, you know, like all the older bands. But there's some really interesting. That one all-girl band from I can never say their whole title, but those. My friend Dennis told me about them, and I'm like, they're pretty bad.
Are you talking about Otopoke Beaver?
Yeah! Those chicks are bad, man. Yeah, I like what I heard from them.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, no bananas. Awesome. But did you see those guys over there, or like, you ever seen those cats live? I've never seen them. Everyone keeps telling me to go check them out. I like what I've heard, though.
I've wanted to see. So, funny thing, there were some Otopoke Beaver shows happening while I was in Japan, but I didn't go, though. Because it was just way too far.
Wow.
And like they have played over here in the West Coast like a few times that I've seen, but I haven't been able to catch them live because I'm just too fucking lazy, dog. I'm just gonna be honest. Honestly.
You probably have a lot of stuff going on, man. I mean, man, I don't get out as much as I used to. But yeah, that's pretty dope.
I mean, not really, man. I'm kind of being honest. I'm kind of just chilling now.
Yeah, man, like, heavy.
Like I just got out of the military, so I'm kind of just taking a little bit of time to chill out, just be a normal fucking human being till I can like go back to doing college shit in January.
Wow. Yeah, man. I mean, that's cool though. You know, gotta relax sometime, man. Like this fast-paced place is something else. You know, like So that's cool. Yeah, get that leisure time rocking, you know. That's pretty cool.
I don't know. I
Man,
just don't want to be a now.
man. Shoot. Anybody else have anything to say? I don't want to bogart the whole thing, but this is cool.
Oh wait, this
Man.
was an. Oh shit! This was. Fucking forgot this was an open discussion. Fuck.
Yeah. No, it's all good. No, this is you. This is all cool for you. I just feel like maybe I'm saying too much, but and even if we don't, man, like I mean cats will always chime in no matter what, you know. It's all good.
Oh shit! My girlfriend's in the chat. Hey babe.
What's up? It's awesome, man. Man, this is so cool. I just think, dang, as a performer, I have to ask you this, man. When you get on stage, like how do you even like what's your, I mean, not to say that you need to have one, and if you have one, I'm curious, like what is the thought that goes through your head? Is it just like it's just gonna happen, whatever happens, happens, or just like I'm gonna take the stage and just rock some madness no matter what?
I mean, I don't know. All the shows I played, I kind of just, I don't know. I kind of just fucking do it. Like I kind of don't think about it. Like
That's tight.
like maybe I don't know. I guess drinking water and smoking a few cigarettes before I, sing. Probably bad for you. Probably bad fucking advice. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really fucking do anything special or like have any type of thought process. I kind of just go up and do it because like the more you do something, you get more and more accustomed to it, and it just. I don't know. Not to make it seem like it's not special, because playing music and being able to like get up there, it's a special opportunity that I'm glad that there's people like me that have it, and if anybody does have any like, creativity, go ahead, make a fucking band, dude. That's kind of the reason I wanted to make bands.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now, have your parents ever come and checked out any of your bands, and what do they think about the music that you're into or playing?
I grew up Catholic. My parents hate my fucking music.
Man, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, it comes with the territory. It ain't that bad. They still
Yes,
love
people.
me, though, They still want to see me, but maybe it's better if they don't see all my tattoos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Man,
my mom still doesn't know that I have tattoos.
man. I'll show a picture of some Ethiopian nuns, man. Like I go to Ethiopian church, so I've seen some of the older women from like I think they're from the countryside. They have tattoos on their face. These are seriously, I'm serious. You could look this up. And so it's just like people are like, how could you have that? Well, you got some of the oldest people of that faith. They got tattoos. You'll see like even some of the Egyptian Christians that I know, they have like tattoos on their wrist and all that. People trip out on that, like man. But that's I mean shoot. I mean man, dude, like I think you should invite them to a show, but I hear you.
I mean, they live all the way in freaking Virginia, and they're about to retire to Columbia, so.
Oh wow.
I think the opportunity for that is long past, but I don't know. I'll show them a video or something.
Man,
Hey,
man, that's so cool. I see you out there, Rosinda. Man, that's so cool. This is so cool. Man, what a trip. Dude, okay, now I have to ask this.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the craziest show that you've ever played?
Let me think. Craziest show I ever played. I mean, I don't know. I mean, shit. Depends on what you define crazy. I mean, I've seen shows where like motherfuckers are out here literally setting shit on fire. So, you got that.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen some fucking buck wild shit happen in some shows out here in LA. Some shit that I wouldn't recommend, you know, because it's bad for your health. But I guess not really crazy, but the funnest show that I ever did was definitely our show with Basuko, Enzyme, and Electric Chair in Oakland,
Wow,
California at Eli's. Yeah, that
man,
was
what
pretty fun.
happened? That's pretty dope.
I don't know. It was just like a really good opportunity to like play a new city, and we had like the third slot, and it just felt nice to be taken seriously, you know?
Man,
Because like the best for me, the shows that I love the most are the shows where I feel like I'm actually taken seriously. Because like people don't know how much that means as a black person, for real.
I'll tell you this, man. Seeing you on stage that night, it was really serious. And then me, and I'm a musician too. I'm a musician. I perform. I do a lot of stuff myself. I'm also a music teacher, and I do stuff like what I'm doing with this page, and also I have another page that I run more on experimental music. Seeing you, you are serious, man. And as a musician to another musician, thanks for what you do, man. It's really cool, and I really appreciate like what you're putting out and just your presence and your creativity, man. It's really cool, and it's cool to just hear like some like raw and real stuff like that, man. And just just I mean, not that I'm somebody special, but like as a musician, kind of into the same thing, and just you know, like dude, like it's serious. I'm taking you serious. Otherwise, I wouldn't be interviewing you, man. You got some cool stuff, man. And this is from a guy that also plays a lot of other kind of music too. So jazz, R&B, classical, all that. So yes, it's very serious, man. No matter what anybody says, what you're doing is on point. I really appreciate what you're doing, man. So
I really
and
I really appreciate that you take me seriously and what I do with this music and how I perform, but it's also not just being taken seriously, but also seen as equal in a way. Like I've noticed that a lot of people, like a lot of kids out here, they kind of idolize the musicians to the point where they're like supposed to be more holier than thou, or like they're more than just a person. Like people building up this image of a person, and I don't want that. Like I try to like I try to tell people that anybody can do this shit because at the end of the day, anybody can do this shit. I picked up the violin in high school and just decided to say, fuck it, I'm gonna play bass. Anybody else can literally do that shit. It doesn't take, you don't have to be cool, you don't have to be tall, you don't have to know all this shit. You just have to figure it the fuck out if you want to. Everything's possible.
yep, just having fun, man. Like it's one of the reasons I dig like a lot of improv type stuff too. At least the way that I would approach it. It's an open conversation that anybody could even participate in. Like, and the fact that you're even confirming just by, hey, pick that up, man. It doesn't mean that you can't do it because you're not Eddie Van Halen. You could be like that, but you don't have to be like that. Just have fun with what you dig, and that's awesome, man. That's a really cool approach, Heck, man.
Hell yeah. It's all about, I don't know, it's just about expressing who you are and just being like, this is me, this is what I'm gonna do, this is kind of like my lasting impression. So whatever happens, you know you did something and nobody can take that away from you. That's the best part about recording a song, and that's the best part about literally listening to whatever you made, like out on any platform or even on record. The fact that you can say that you did that shit. So
Heck
you
yeah.
can have a bad day, but it's like, hey, at least I have a 7 inch, so fuck it. At least I did something right.
Yeah, man. That's exactly what it is. I mean, the fact that you did it and you're sharing like you with like everybody and people are hearing that and they're feeling that, that's pretty dope, like that's real cool, man. Shoot. Amazing. man, there's another question that I was gonna ask, and I hate when I forget stuff. I'm getting old. Like, but it's just really cool, like that that you're doing what you're doing, and keep doing that. You know, it's all creativity, and all of us have it. You know, man. Anybody have any questions? I know I've been talking a lot.
No.
Shouts to all of you cats.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anybody wants to ask me anything.
Some people will get a little shy, you know, but this is awesome, man. Um,
Shy. Well, I guess to kill the shyness, I got this little guy for basuko.
whoa, dude, is that a piranha?
Well, I don't know, but I'm gonna assume it's an anglerfish. It just looks cool. It looks scary.
Dang, is that like a straight up angler skeleton?
I don't know. It's a fucking prop I got from Spirit of Halloween. It's like
That's
I don't
awesome.
know. Basuko's got something about fish. We're like scary red fish band. We like scary red animals. Nat Geographic or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, Rodcore had a question for you, man.
Other bands you like right now? A lot. Meat House from North Carolina, really good band that you guys should check out. Little Angels from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I believe. Actually, I don't know if they're from Pittsburgh, but they're really good. A lot of these bands, you can just find them out online, YouTube them, fucking Bandcamp them, Google them. I've been listening to a lot of like older Yugoslavian bands like Third Category and what's called UBR, Rebels Without a Cause.
Huh.
I don't know. Most of like what I've been doing lately is just listening to Poison Idea and just getting high with my girl, man.
Man.
and,
Yeah, Poison
and
Idea is
watching a
awesome.
lot of like HBO. Like we just finished watching Oz, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that show was kind of crazy.
Man, what a trip. What a trip, man.
But
Any other, my bad.
trying to think of other bands. Damn, there's just way too many fucking bands, to be honest. Go check out those bands. Thanks. Oh, no problem. Shit, I forgot that there was a band that I fucking wanted to shout out. I just can't remember. Fuck it, it'll come back to me later on.
Man. Yeah, man. It's bands are vast. I feel like I've been stuck in a vortex. Who was I talking to? Like I only listen to like a lot of the bands that I kind of grew like up listening to, unless somebody turns me on to something, or else, or like you know, if I'm at a show like I was at yours, you know. So I hear you on that, man. That's always cool to get some new stuff to be recommended, man. That's heavy. Oh my God. Now I'm getting a man. Do you have any other projects aside Basuko, or is that the main thing that you're focusing on?
I mean, I just write all the shit in Basuko. Penalty Kill. I go in, I sing. You know, it's more like I don't know how to describe it. Like, you know how most bands are like, it's a collective process with like everybody else kind of like does their thing. But like for most of the bands I'm in, it's like one guy writes everything and everybody just follows along because in my opinion, it's easier to do that. If one guy's writing everything, there's no fucking blocks. There's no fucking let's go back and change this. Let's go back and change that. It's no like, oh, let's fucking take fucking 10,000 years to figure out this album. No, it's one guy. He writes everything. He teaches it to everybody else. Done. HKFY was like that with fucking Hong Kong when I was in Intercom. Fucking Sergio, the lead singer of Intercom, he was like that. Lamictal, Alex, the lead singer of Lamictal, he's like that. All the bands I'm in, it works so much better if there's just one guy writing everything.
Man, what was Intercom? I didn't know about. And if there's any other bands that I forgot too that I didn't know about, let me know. Because I knew
Intercom,
about.
Intercom was a band. Well, they're still around, but it was a band that I was in. That shit, I fucking phrased that wrong. So, Intercom is a band that I was in San Diego, and it had members that were in Basuko. Sergio, the lead singer, he used to play guitar in Basuko. Because Basuko used to actually live in San Diego, but I recently moved to LA.
Wow. Are you like, I don't know if I should ask this. So you're more LA based now.
I mean, yeah, I got an LA zip code.
Right on. I'm in LA County, like pretty much LA. Like I think Rodcore is from LA too. Like, LA represent. What's up, y'all? Like, no, that's cool, man. Do you dig like the LA scene more than like the San? I don't know if that's a good question to ask, or do you feel like they're different, or they're just one and the same, or you just kind of like, do you feel like there's a difference between the LA and San Diego scene?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the bands in LA actually know how to play punk.
Wow.
Yeah, San Diego, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're doing some fucking wacky ass shit down there. And that's my
Man.
opinion. And you can say what I want. Yes, I'm an asshole. Yes, I'm elitist. But that's the truth. Truth be told, I do not like most of the bands that are coming down to San Diego. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to fucking do anything. All I'm saying is that listen to bands from LA, listen to bands from San Diego, and then tell me that you don't notice the difference.
Hmm. It's as far as like just like the general scene like here, and as far as, because I'm so used to LA, I don't really go to shows in San Diego. I think I played there probably maybe twice, but I don't really go down there. So I mean, as far as like scene wise, would you say that this is, I mean, like, is it kind of the same community, like vibe, or no? Like, I don't know if that's a cool question, but
No, it's not the same community. LA's literally a bunch of no, not LA, San Diego. LA, it's a lot of different people because it's larger, but I don't know how to describe it. It's like there's a niche for everybody, you know? Like the smaller the city, the smaller and harder it is to find what specifically you're into. Like LA being a big city, yeah, there's hardcore, but there's certain bands that are different from other bands, certain styles different from others. You know how to say. Not all music is the same. With
yeah.
the bands in San Diego, there's not enough of them, so they end up playing with each other, and then sometimes make new bands kind of sound the same as other bands. It's every scene is like that, but like the smaller the scene, the smaller the city, the more incestuous it is.
Hmm.
And after a while, you look at the scene and you're like, this ain't a fucking music scene. This is just like a fucking cool kid's fucking table at lunch or something, Like, what, I gotta fucking like kiss the ring to fucking sit down at a table to play? Fuck that.
Thanks.
I'm not gonna fucking kiss ass just to play with a bunch of white kids in San Diego. Fuck that shit.
No, I hear you, man. Shoot, I'm just glad that you're doing what you're doing as far as like just the music that you're putting out, and dude, you know, you got cats that dig it, and I'm one of them, and it's really cool. Man, this some mosquitoes trying to bite me, man. What the
Mosquitoes.
hell?
Wait,
I
you're in
know. I'm
LA
like,
County?
dude,
Damn, there's no
yeah. I'm like,
mosquitoes
what the
over here,
hell? Like
dog.
some crazy ass like bug, like trying to lope up on me, man. What the
Damn, gotta watch
man? So
out for them, man.
man, well, shoot. It would be cool to see you, man. I'm gonna keep in contact with you. Is there anything that you want to tell any as far as like just promotion wise, like what you want cats to know, and also any advice? You kind of gave us some, but any other advice?
Um, I guess my best advice that I take super serious. Don't take everything seriously. Set expectations low and realize that eventually everybody has an expiration date, so don't let the haters get to you. Everybody's got an expiration date, so why care? Just do it. Just have fun.
Man. Thanks again, man. Thanks for making time for this. I really appreciate it, bro. Like, seriously. And you know, we actually kicked off this as a celebration, first year that we're celebrating a Black History of Rock and Roll month. And it's just like something to celebrate us and our, you know, our innovations and what a lot of us are still doing with this genre of music now, no matter what area it's in. So we really appreciate your coming on this platform. I really appreciate it, man. Seriously.
Anytime, man. I'm so glad that you fucking invited me, you know? Because I was like, originally when I saw that you wanted to do an interview, I was like, damn, fuck, you want to know about me, man. I'm just a regular guy.
Well, I dig your music, man. That's what I wanted to know. And plus, it's just cool to see cats that are still rocking that madness out there. And you're one of them, bro. Like, and you know, we got this platform, and I thought, like, man, let me see if this brother's down, you know, like if he wants to do it, you know. And I really appreciate it, you know.
Man, at the end of the day, I'm just an 80s cosplayer. There's 10,000 more people out there that are way cooler than me, man.
Man. Well, hey, we're still rocking. That's the whole point, man. Unless anybody else has something to say. Oh, what was that, brother? Sorry.
I don't know. I just try my best, and I hope you try your best too.
I'm trying, man. Thanks to the Most High, man. I'm still here, you know, like 49 and still rocking madness. Playing obnoxious music.
When I meant try your best, I mean as in just trying to live the best life for yourself, you know? Because that's
right on.
Because that's what this whole hardcore punk shit's about. Just living a best life for yourself, you know?
Yep. Straight up. DIY, man. Like, and just carving that.
Yep. Because honestly, I don't even know what else to say. Just that. Live the best life for yourself.
No, that's some good wisdom. Some brother is giving you a shout out, man. He's all basuko.
Oh yeah, that song.
Awesome.
Wait, do I have to wait? Are you telling me like do you want me to do it? Do you want me to like actually do it? Like the whole basuko, whatever the fuck that is.
I think he might be wanting you to say that.
Right. Is that what you're trying to say? All right, fine then. Sorry, neighbors. Basuko.
Where can people hear your stuff?
Literally fucking everywhere, like Spotify, Bandcamp, SoundCloud. Actually, no, not SoundCloud. We don't do that shit. But, fucking just Google it.
All right. Shouts to World Eater. I see you out there, Jared. Man, well, we're gonna end, and thanks again, Leo. Really appreciate you, brother.
Anytime.
Peace. Black History Rock and Roll, rockin' madness all day. Yes, I.
See you later, dude.